morning, Mallory.
Good evening, Sam.
Welcome back to the Nobody Leaves podcast, where we force each other to watch any old thing. This week, I'm taking a page out of Mallory's book, and I'm going straight to YouTube, the platform you're probably listening to us on. If you're not listening to us on this podcast, then we have like a bootleg pirate radio feed of Nobody Leaves podcast, which I'd highly doubt. But, maybe in 10 years I'll put it on Spotify. This week we're looking at a video essay by the creator David Achu. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The video essay is called "I'm Pretty Sure Recycling Isn't Real." It has 4.8 million views. It came out 3 months ago. And I've thought about this video for the past 2 months after I saw it at the beginning of the summer. Basically, anytime I throw something away, I've been like, is this even worth it? Am I putting things in separate bins and then they're getting on the same truck and then they're going to the same landfill in a foreign nation? And we're going to get into it a little bit. I really wanted to just like tank our metrics, right? I know you're waiting to talk. I'm going to keep going. I really wanted to just dive in terms of what we're talking about. We're talking about recycling.
Yeah, Sam, it's kind of tough. Like, what are we going to do with all this trash?
Oh, we're doing like Carrot Top bits again?
What are we going to do with all this trash, Sam?
Podcasts, great visual medium, So how long did it take you to collect those water bottles?
Sam, I haven't thrown away my pet bottles in quite a while because it's annoying. I didn't print out the thing. And for those of you who are new listeners to this podcast, I famously have ADHD. And one of the ways in which that will manifest is avoidance of things that are difficult. It is hard to motivate myself to do basic things that I need to do to survive. So I got a lot of plastic bottles, and if I printed out the schedule of the recycling and I had it on my fridge, for sure these would be gone and away. But I thought I'd just kind of show them off to you all. It was pretty fun. It felt fun. I don't know if it looked good or something.
Do you do the thing, the 10-year-old thing of like collecting like shampoo bottles like in the shower? You're like, oh, let me just like have like a colorful collection here.
Not in the No, I have like, okay, so context. In Japan, you got to sort your recycling into a bunch of different things that are different from America. Mm-hmm. And I have a thing to like sort my plastic bottles in, and that's overflowing, so I put them in a bag, left it on my porch, and then I filled it up again, and then I had more, and Sam, this isn't about me. This is about this really cool video that you want me to watch about recycling, okay?
Okay. Oh, let me start there. So I pitched it not just to be like, I want to kind of hear about Japanese recycling because I've heard through the grapevine over the years that it's really complicated, but also I've fallen in love with this creator, David Achu. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. David, if you're seeing this, your videos are great. This video went kind of viral, 5 million views in 3 months. And to me, it's like the perfect YouTube video. It's a question that everyone asks all the time and doesn't really have an answer for. Like, I think I understand how this works, but do I really understand how this works? Is recycling real? Normally I meet people and it's like, don't you know it's all going to the same place, and it's an excuse to like not walk 5 feet to like a further trash can. And I go, well, they're just being a bad person. But then I watch this video and I'm like, it's all going to the same place. Like, am I the idiot? Am I doing all this effort for nothing? And it's a perfect video essay. Makes you think, answers a question, vaguely anti-capitalism, funny, big money, big whammy, big fun. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's the frequently Googled questions type of question where it's just like it gets you see that you're like, I gotta figure this one out. And Sam, it just kind of sucked that they're just kind of fucking around with all the trash, and that it's just propaganda. And we were both like grew up in a time where it was very we are the world, we are the children
Mm-hmm.
type of era, and it's all about like do your part. I recall being in elementary school, and on Nickelodeon they had a thing where it was like a blackout for a certain amount of time. So they were like for the next like 5 minutes or something, like you turn off all the lights in your house or whatever, and we're gonna save so much power
I
through this
remember that.
initiative. And I was like, Mom, we gotta turn off the lights. Miranda Cosgrove told us to, and she was like, oh, okay. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I've always carried this like weight of like, oh, I got to make sure to turn off the lights when I'm not in the room. I got to make sure to turn off the AC when
Right.
I'm not in the room. I got to make sure to but then you grow up to become an adult, and you're so busy and you're so tired and it's so hard, and you have to do everything by yourself, and you have to organize the trash and recycling and make sure to take it out. And Sam, it's tough. It's tough
Tough.
keeping it all
It's hard out there.
together and being a
I got so
perfect
many video essays I
environmental
gotta watch. I
citizen.
can't. I don't have time to like wash out every plastic bin and find the lid and put the lid back on and take the thing to the curb. Um, I gotta ask you, Mallory. I was thinking about this. The my YouTube habits have really changed over the years, right? And I think the content that's available on YouTube and that is popular on YouTube and that finds its way to my feeds, because this video is how I discovered this creator, has changed. And it's like, are we all becoming our parents? Because it has the energy of like dads in the Lazy Boy watching a World War II documentary, but just on our phones, walking around, making espresso, going, "Oh, I would like to know about interior design, or I would like to know about recycling, or I would like to know about this obscure thing about like how like an electrical system works." Like I feel like I'm really just sliding into my 30s, and my YouTube habits have changed dramatically. But also these videos are widely popular. So like
Mm.
I've been thinking about it.
Well, I don't know. I will say I think this video for its part, and we should probably like just talk about the thing that we watched and then the
Yeah.
podcast is about a little bit. It did give me like it was a little fussed, you know?
Mhm.
And I think I have gotten old, and I do like to listen to my, you know, uh uh World War II documentaries and my
15-hour true crime
slow
documentary.
meandering conversations. And
Mhm.
I think that it's pretty like pa 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 pa, in a way that like there were certain parts when I was like rewatching it that because I watched it for the first time just kind of like passively taking it in like a good little
Mhm.
sheep. And then when rewatching it, there were a couple places where I felt like I did kind of need to pause and be like, wait, what did you actually just say? Because I'm trying to
Mhm.
like engage with it a little bit more critically than I guess I normally do with this content, which is probably more of a reflection of like, it's
The format, right? Like
yeah.
commentary YouTube channels like this, where it's
Hmm.
like it can be a video essay on anything. It's not like this is a person who makes video game video essays or movie video
Yeah.
essays or anime or whatever. The crap that you and I talk about on our respective channels. I It's meant for a second screen experience, but I think there's some fun visual stuff in the video that we can talk about in terms of the snappy pacing, where it's like, the gag that's running through it of like I'm gonna repeat the same clip of like money or probably or was it maybe in money? It's kind
Technically.
of technically or money like that, setting that joke up and then having it like peppered through where you start to anticipate and you go, oh, he's gonna do the thing, he's gonna do the money. It got me. I thought it was very funny and a very good way to kind of like reset your brain as you're watching it. It's a little zoomer. It's a little like bop 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 bop. But I'll tell you, I've watched some other videos over the past week, like going out on a limb, clicking recommended videos instead of my usual like subscriber pool of stuff, and you can definitely take this even further in ways that I don't like. I watched a video about someone like making a Michelin star meal for their friends, and it was just da 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 da. Like there was no room to breathe, and I was like, okay, I like David's videos better. Like it's still a little. I haven't gone full zoomer yet, or I can't quite get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely a scale, and it's definitely like, yeah, it's not to undermine it. Like, it does succeed in like teaching and like getting the point across. Um, and I did walk away more informed. It was just like there's just a couple sections where I'm like, oh, this is kind of flying over my head. Like, I gotta slow down. So basically, to answer your question that you're postulating, I am old, and and I need my stories kind of drip fed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this video made me reflect on YouTube and the video essay in
Pipeline.
general. I think that because I like that you brought up like video games and anime commentary and stuff like that, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
I think that those kind of videos started because they were so like that would not get talked about on TV. You would not get like funding to do like uh I think about sequelitis all the time as like a Aaron from Ego Raptor from Game Grumps was like hugely popular videos like years and
Mm-hmm.
years and years ago. It's like you could not have convinced someone that like a TV exec or whatever that like or the BBC or whatever that like yeah we need to make this video about like Ocarina of Time or whatever bullshit,
Right.
you know.
And when we were
Um,
growing up, like YouTube like came out when we were little kids, but not quite. Like we remember a pre-YouTube era, and you're
yes,
just sitting around going, God, no one cares about Naruto, and I really care about Naruto. Won't someone
it's
talk to me
my
about
whole
Naruto?
world.
And if you don't
Yeah,
have anyone in your elementary school classroom who gives a shit about your special interests, YouTube becomes like this amazing avenue. And now that's taken for granted. But I think in the early days, it was, yeah, flooded with niche special interests that are like, that would skew younger, right? Video games,
yes,
anime, comics, like diaries, like video diaries of young people, right? Like it was a young person's platform, and it was about young subject matters, and it was also like low rent, and the barrier, it was the easiest thing to do would be to plug in an Elgato and record some Minecraft, or some,
mm,
even before Minecraft, some Call of Duty or what have you.
right. Yeah, and it's like that kind of stuff popped up, and then I think at a certain point you started getting the more political kind of videos. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a huge wave of like right wing propaganda. I feel like is what predated the like political video essay, but also just like people talking about their experiences and stuff like that. It's like and
Right.
both of these things would not gotten the air because they're too far like on either side of the politics or whatever. It's like
And they're too
um
specific, right? Like
yeah,
an individual talking about their lived experience is obviously important, but if it's
right,
like someone who works at a Kmart, you're not going to be on the BBC talking about your lived experience, but you can talk on YouTube and connect with someone and become like the face of whatever that experience is, while also just being
totally.
a really normal person, right? They always talk about it as like the democratizing of the internet, where it's like if you're
Mhm.
interesting enough, even if you're someone working at a gas station, or a teacher, or any like regular blue collar job, if you're interesting, if you're personable, if you have shit to say that resonates with people, it rises to the top. And then now we're just 15, 20 years into that experiment.
Yeah, totally. So it's interesting to me because when I think about it now, the elephant in the room with YouTube is always that it's free. I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like documentaries about stuff like this exist in the world,
Mm-hmm.
um, but it's just so it's like, because like people and like less and less people watch TV. Like TV itself is like kind of like dying, and then like
Hmm.
um it's interesting to me because it's like on the one hand, like, are we really like a well educated public if like people like, I don't think to like check out documentaries. You know what I mean? I don't think
Right.
to like pay money to do stuff. Partially because I'm like, oh, nonfiction, boring. Um, and I kind of have a thing about that. But I think also I'm like, I don't have that sense. But then like crazy funny guy on the internet pops up and is like, "Oh, let me teach you about the history of whatever Marxism," and I'm like, oh, okay. And
Right.
it's like
But if they're interesting enough, if they're snappy enough, it can be like, okay, I'll look at a breakdown of Singapore politics through the lens of Fallout New Vegas. Like, sure, I'll do that, and I'll watch it for
totally
an hour and a half. But I won't watch a real documentary about Singapore, or I won't, go play Fallout New Vegas. It I think the problem with the old way, right? The before times is like there are only so many people funding documentaries, and there are only so many documentaries that like get out and get like a national release. And we're talking
mm,
like, if you want to go really old school with it, like shelving space at a Blockbuster or a Walmart or whatever, like in terms of like what you can get in front of somebody pre Netflix, pre YouTube, etc. And
mm,
now, and so because of that, those would be like the most generalized topics. We're going to do a documentary about history. We're going to do a documentary about like farming, or a very famous thing you already know about, like an OJ Simpson or something. Um, and now, because there's everything's free to access, free to host, and people have gotten really good at editing, uh, you can make a video essay about any special interest and people will resonate with it. But then it has like a curve where it starts to go back into those generalized topics. And that's why I think that this David, God, I cannot get his name in my head.
Achu,
Achu?
Achu.
Achu? David Achu? He seems really good at it. And I'm very impressed by it. And sometimes I come across a creator where I'm like, dang, I want to make better videos. This guy's making better videos than I am, but he's also making the kind of videos I like to watch. And that's how I felt these last like 6 weeks or so since I found this recycling video. And I'm like watching him do a video about, are we all going deaf? And that's a question I have because I blast, music in my AirPods all day.
Mm.
Or like he did a video about like fashion and a video about like Instagram perception and stuff like that. It's just like very universal topics, but like finding good ways to talk about them that are interesting and a new take on an old subject, right?
Mm. Yeah, totally. I think that's it's kind of what's so interesting to me though, because I think a lot of the appeal of a video essay to me is like the singular creator and singular voice stuff that comes with it. Um, I think, for example, Sean is a YouTuber who just goes by Sean, who I'm a very big fan of, and he always sticks out to me because he is so dry and
Mm-hmm.
so like not like zippity zoo about anything, and it's just so like and like and you get a feel for his like style of humor. He's like witty. He will make a joke that is like there's no like, oh, look at me on it at all. Like it's
Right.
just like you're like, wait a second, oh, you just told a joke type of humor. But it's like, and like I said the thing about like I don't like nonfiction or whatever. It was like I find myself so frequently bored by like the concept of documentaries like growing
Mm-hmm.
up, because it's like, okay, but it's like I think you have the feeling that like a team made it, and it's like it's a audio textbook kind of feeling. It's
It
like this
feels
is
like
just
being
the
like,
fact.
it's a difference
Yeah.
between like being like taught a lesson or having a conversation with someone, right? And it gets into, some parasocial stuff, but like
Right.
a YouTuber being like, I'm really interested in nuclear proliferation, which is what Sean,
Yeah.
has a famous video on.
Hmm.
or H Bomber guy going like, I am obsessed with how people talk about climate change. And then you can feel that person's passion and you can feel like you're responding to them even if you're just listening to what they're saying. Whereas I don't get that if I watch like an Al Gore documentary or something.
Right. Or like how many Beatles documentaries exist out there and I've had zero interest in because I don't give a fuck about the Beatles. But then, oh, Lindsay Ellis made like a 2 to 3 hour video on like the Beatles and Yoko Ono. And it's like, okay, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from like a trust, like it is like a parasocial connection of like, you're like, oh, I kind of like get where this person's coming from. I trust like where they're coming from, that they share similar values to me. And like with this
Right.
creator, it's like, yeah, I've watched one video from him, but immediately he's like signaled to me like kind of anti-capitalist and like not weird and seems of my generation. So I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you probably have like reasonable opinions on stuff. I'm like kind of making the point to say like what I'm getting at is like propaganda. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough reasons to trust this person, and yet I do, is what I'm
Right.
trying to say.
Well, I
Like
think yeah,
because
that for
and
me, the number
yeah.
one thing, like if a video essay can like take my pre-bias established idea and like change my mind on something, uh, that to me is like, ooh, I'm interested in this person now. Like, if I feel like I've been taught something, but not I've been taught at, you know what I mean? That's when I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like, I didn't know about the like dark history of the Reduce, Reuse, Recycle campaign. I just knew the
Mhm.
jingle, and I think I did know the De La Soul produced song that he
I
references
did.
in the video. And that's also another piece of it, which is like I think about this all the time as a very not amazing YouTuber about like clip selection and how hard it is to find the perfect audio snippet or the perfect bit in the good enough quality and to make it work in your format and to make it like the timing of it all. This guy is great at that in terms of like I'm going to play this weird recycling jingle or I'm going to show like these cartoon animations of the words recycling, which I can remember vividly as like a 5-year-old and it being like this massive in your face ad campaign. And so just by like tapping into that almost nostalgia about this, I'm like instantly like, oh yeah, he gets it. He knows this. He knows he was there. He has this information that I have. Even though this is another thing I want to talk about. This guy frequently references being in college, and I think he's like early 20s, and I'm just like, he's so much better at this than me, and he's younger. Oh no, that used to not happen. I went and watched his first ever video in preparation for this podcast. It was only 4 years ago, and he's referencing AP classes in high school, and I took a little bit of psychic damage. Yeah, I now I'm giving that psychic damage to you.
Do, 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 do. Yeah, like there's all this to like what I'm saying is like it would be wrong to inherently doubt or discredit this person
Mm-hmm.
based on his like age or anything like
Totally.
that. Um but it's also I think I'm trying to like share my thoughts and feelings as someone who's like actively like decided not to watch the rest of his videos in preparation for this podcast. Probably what I'm going to do after this podcast is like go through some of the back catalog and like um learn about this guy, but also like get other perspectives and Google stuff about recycling as well, because it's like
Sure.
it, I don't know. I'm the thing I'm kind of trying to get at is like I worry about the way things are. I don't know. I get there's no clean answer. I worry about the fact that we're reaching this point where we have video essayists that
Mm-hmm.
are singular voices that can like pick a topic and do a bunch of research and share about it. And we have that format and it's kind of like, okay, I'm explaining like the history of this or that or the other to
Right.
you. I'm explaining like this science phenomenon or whatever. And we trust that because the people who typically have the like historically up until this point, the people who have the energy, the motivation, the skills and talent to do that, typically are smart, intelligent, kind people, and then I
Who are
think
passionate about the subject, right? So if they're passionate
yes,
about the subject, theoretically, you know a lot about it, although that's not always the case.
yeah, and like all these things kind of combine to make these like generally trustworthy sources of information, and
Right.
I think
I think you're talking removed from David himself. You're talking about like the format, right, and maybe some nervousness about like treating armchair experts as experts, right? There's no
mhm,
barrier of like there's no peer review when it comes to like a video essay.
yes, and I think that like the thing that makes me the reason why I'm coming on this video is because it's like this it feels kind of like the tipping point from I think most of the like educational type videos I would have watched like before this would have been like with a specifically like explicitly political bent. You know, like I
Mm-hmm.
think I got into watching that kind of like uh ContraPoints Sean type of video because it was like, you know, I'm I'm learning about I'm like, okay, these are people with my values talking to me. And I think a lot of
Right.
times like
It's being sold to you as like a liberal's perspective on this subject, right? Like that's like on Main Street as opposed it's like it's BreadTube, it's on, it's on the box.
totally, it's like these are like leftist perspectives, and these are people who are talking about things in the sense of like I don't like because I would watch a documentary and it would be like Super Size Me. I watched in
Mm-hmm.
did you
High
watch that
school or
as
middle
well in
school,
high
yeah.
school? Yeah, and it's like okay, there it's like obviously fat phobic or whatever, and like I'm not and I'm not fat phobic. Sorry, that just sounded such a like I'm not racist. Um, but it's like
I'm
they're
friends with
like
many
little
chicken nuggets,
tells.
like I don't know what you're talking about.
My friends eat chicken nuggets all the time. There are little tells in these videos that these are made by like old people and conservatives and
Right.
people who I don't really share values with. And it's like, oh, these are people who are kind of like speaking my language and they like understand and accept trans people and blah, 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 and they're teaching me
Mm-hmm.
about things and I'm like, oh, this is like on the level. Like I agree with this. But I think that has like primed me to be open up to kind of like science guy, Hank Green type of videos. They're
Right.
teaching me about this. But it's like it's not that it's not that I have any problem with this video at all. It's that I'm like, okay, I feel like we're heading in a direction where someone can this is a style and this is a guy that can be impersonated
The secret
and then
conservative video essay that's like going to happen at some point. Yeah.
yeah
Or probably is,
the
is happening actively, I'm sure, somewhere.
the psyop where it's just like
Yeah.
oh we're like actually like what was it the Civil War is about I always remember the Civil War is about the tariff and it had nothing to do with racism, which is something that my 8th grade history teacher taught me and that I
Mm-hmm.
believed casually for like it would have been 3 years until my junior year high school history teacher was like a lot of people say that but here's like the evidence that like it was about slavery basically. And
Right.
like I remember the Civil War is about the tariff, and because I didn't process like why that was like motivated reasoning or like
Mm-hmm.
what her motive for reasoning that would be. I was just like, oh
To
okay, a teacher
bend
told me
or
that.
break the truth in effort to, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't process that like oh this is about sanitizing the South. Like I didn't think about it at all. I just thought oh that must be a common misconception. Thought that never shared that I thought that with anyone, never talked about the Civil War with anybody until 3 years later. And then it's like
Mm-hmm.
and then this teacher and then I was like, oh, I that's like a racist propaganda talking point that I like held and believed. And
Right.
if I was like confronted that in like a different context, that might have come out in a like and I also thought like I was speaking of AP classes, I was in like an AP history class and I'm like all the kids that weren't in this class are they being taught the same thing as me? Like, are we all
Right.
collectively
Are
realizing
they not
that?
being
Or
challenged as much or what have you? Yeah.
yeah, and it's
It
like yeah,
See, this is why I pitched you this, right? Because like obviously we're getting way off the path of the video itself. That's the whole point.
totally.
I want to talk. I just want an excuse for you and I to go about like our YouTube watching habits, right? Because audience, we now share a YouTube account through the one you're currently watching this video on. And so every week when I go to like upload the podcast or upload a short, I I get a glimpse into like the Mallory psyche, right? Or at least the Google Corporation's interpretation of the Mallory psyche. And it's fascinating to me how like you and I have a lot of the same interests, what have you, like some of the same creators, but just where we veer off. And you mentioned like approaching things from a political bent. I tend to do the opposite, where I like when like a YouTuber stumbles into leftist politics or what have you. Like I like watching over the course of 5 years of a Drew Gooden like making videos going like, isn't Instagram ads wacky? To like now he's like, comrade, all of capitalism is killing all of us. Like I find that fun and entertaining to like watch people come to ideas and conclusions and be confronted with information, because that's what life is, right? Is like taking in information, interpreting it, reinterpreting it, forming your beliefs, hopefully not being so rigid in them that you can't change them if new information comes in. There was a comment in this video that I really enjoyed, which is like, I love that people stumble across this recycling fact every 2 or 3 years, and I watch all these videos, and it's like, yeah, I didn't know this about recycling, and it seems like this David person did not either. And so it's satisfying to be like, we're all surprised together, right? Like we all thought that it worked one way and it works the other way. And that to me, I hope this doesn't come across as parasocial, but that to me is like very endearing, and it's something I really love about the medium. And I hope that when someone watches one of my videos and I go, is anybody seeing these boring scenes in Better Call Saul and just loving them? That like that those ideas resonate, right? And you have like a community
Right.
over stuff you like.
Yeah, I think like I agree with you, and that's the thing. Like you get a vibe, and stuff is born out over time as well. Like when I talk about like the hypothetical conservative grifter YouTuber that is like, you know, like I'm totally a leftist, but let me explain to you why we needed to blow up Japan with like 2 atom bombs. Which we're only talking about this because we've been talking about Oppenheimer
2 weeks ago. Yeah,
well,
that was an example
weeks.
of like, I learned about it in high school, middle school, whatever, and I just kind of like took it uncritically and said, oh, they had to do it because of the Nazis. Okay, sure. And then Japan wouldn't surrender, sure. And then it took like a Sean video or a biography or a potentially damaging movie for me to have like my opinions either strengthened or changed or what have you.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. So it wears me. What do I get worried about? I'm worried about propaganda, but it's also like it's coming from a place where like in the way documentaries used to be done, you get a lot less of a singular voice that's often filtered. Oftentimes the most effective documentarians are like the ones where it's you have like your oh my god, I'm losing his name. Is it Louis Theroux? Who's like where it's like you're kind of following him and seeing his emotional reactions to stuff, and
they're not hiding, they're not trying to be subjective, right? They're putting themselves into the story, which sometimes people can go too far with that, but they're
right.
like, I'm a person experiencing this and here's my reaction to it. That's more honest to me. It's more intellectually honest to me than like this narration is going to be spoken in a monotone to make you seem like this is just the factual statement of what happened in this situation.
Totally. And like and I think that's like why that is effective with your David Achus and your people who are making videos is as well. Like they're taking you through your experience and like why they're approaching things a certain way.
Right. I gotta watch Drew Gooden like fail to make a protein brownie, and I'll be like, I relate to that. I don't know how to make a protein brownie.
Yeah, and it's like and yeah, like people's views and their politics and all this kind of stuff are born out of over time, and you tend to like witness and you can reevaluate. So it's like, it's not that YouTube is like the villain here or YouTube video essays are the villain here, because I think that like
I think YouTube video essayists are like the scum of the earth, right? You, me, David, everybody. Anyway, continue.
I think that it's like, because it's not like a fallacy you can often fall into is like, oh, anyone could like say anything, and then you would just like accept it as fact. But I'm like, but that was already true when the documentaries existed, and you would like people would propagandize through documentaries, through movies, through like the president of the United States speeches or whatever, and like sanitize
Well,
things.
we went through 10 years of someone wrote it on the internet, it must be true, right? And you and I don't know that's not true now, but people 15, 20 years older than us go, but someone wrote it down. That takes work, you know?
Yeah, it's so like what scares me about propaganda is it's just like because I brought up the anecdote about the Civil War and the tariff because I think it's such a like illustrative example of like I think I'm a smart person, I think I'm anti-racist, I think that I'm like cool woke bay or whatever, and it's like how easy it is to just like digest stuff when you're not thinking about it and like you're not above it, and thinking you're above it is probably like that is like the fatal like that is like the final blow to you being able to engage it. Like this process of like where does this information come from, what is this person motivated by, like
I am
have
more
to
and
do
more
that
often in my
permanently.
day-to-day life in conversations with people our age going, oh yeah, like someone starts introducing an idea to me and I go, oh yeah, I've also seen that same video essay, and they're like caught and they're like, yeah, it was from this video essay, you know, like you start parroting what you hear and being like, this is an interesting thing I learned about, I read about, quote unquote. Is the reason these like propaganda fears or feelings are bubbling to the surface because of this video in particular, other than the fact that it's like you could misread this as being like recycling is stupid, we shouldn't do it, which is not what I don't think David Achu is doing, and he very clearly is not doing that and states it many times. It's like it's better than nothing, but it needs to be better, and we need a solution, and it's a lot of its vibes and propaganda itself. But is the reason that this is bringing these ideas to the surface because this is a YouTuber who does more generalized topics, right, as opposed to a Sean or
I
Lindsay Ellis?
think that the reason it is coming up is it's not to do with him, and it's a good video, and I don't know if I've stated that clearly enough. And
Mallory thinks that David Achu is a psyop conservative.
I think
who
David
is trying
Achu's
to.
pretty cool.
Listen, I've gone and watched
From
the rest
one
of his
video.
catalog mostly, and I'm enjoying it.
Again,
But
yeah,
continue.
no, zero problems with this video and his politics, and like I'm glad you brought that up as well because I think that's like it's such a common thing of like people are like, oh, this extreme isn't true, we gotta jump to the other extreme, and it's
Right.
like, you know, like the idea like it's like we definitely should still sort between like our two recycling buckets that we have in America. Like it's the easiest shit ever.
Or the 5 you have on your porch in Japan.
Yeah, coming from someone who has to do like fucking glass bottles, cans, bottle caps, and bottles go in separate ones. It's like you can't like. I don't know, like get the fuck over it if you're in America. Like, it's way too, it's too simple and it should be harder.
I'm still recycling, but now I'm sitting there going, is it actually going to the same truck? Was the lazy friend who didn't want to walk to the recycling bin actually correct? That's what I'm just frustrated by.
Yeah, and it's like no, they're not. Like they're
Right.
the
The
it's
attitude's
better.
wrong, even if the current reality is also wrong.
Yeah, being better than nothing, but we should also demand our like systems change, and we should have we should be more responsible with our plastic production. Is like really where the problem is like starting. It's like it's just a way to get like plastic is being dumped on us because we just have to get rid of it somehow. But it's like the sorry. What? Yeah.
Video
Why is it this? I think the reason why it's coming around this video is it feels to me like, oh, this is like where I'm getting my education from now, like fully, and there's not like another stream in which I'm like learning about the world, and I feel like I learned a lot from this video, and I worry like, oh, like I'm not. So it is probably more of a personal indictment, but it's also like I know that I'm not alone. in
No, I
that, and I know
often
that
have
there
that
are,
feeling. Like,
yeah, like
I don't know where to do. It's like, go do your additional research is something that's said often in the video essaying world, and then it's like, where are you making another video about it? Like, and that's has to do with like the hollowing out of like journalistic institutions and what have you, and science journals and this and that. I think
yes.
you mentioned Hank Green earlier, who is in some hot water currently, but other than that, I think he makes good videos, and I learn from
Hmm.
Green videos often. Um, he's good about being like, this science journal and that science journal, and this is still free, and you can still access this. But so many things are paywalled. So many of the people, the organizations that still have the resources to do the work, how you feel about a particular one aside, like a New York Times or a Wall Street Journal or Reuters or what have you, like there's that paywall, and you're like, oh, but the information's there, and I know it's there. I guess I'll watch a YouTuber who paid for the paywall or got around it, so that I get the secondhand game of telephone subjective retelling of what allegedly is objective. And then when you get to the objective subjective of journalism, I could throw an AP style guide at you, but like, it's like nothing is true and everything is true.
Right.
It's a thing to navigate in the world, and I don't think like a grounded news is the solution or whatever. I'm sure you've seen those same ads, but it I feel better that that 4.8 million people are watching this video and learning something that is like verifiable and interesting, as opposed to nothing. It's like the recycling conversation itself, right? It's like, is it bad that we're getting our information and learning through video essays? Like, maybe, but it's better than not learning at all, right? And you could think of
Yeah.
it as like a new the new internet teaching method or what have you.
Yeah, and like that's it. I probably should like think on bright side. It's like, yeah, like this is a good video. This isn't a conservative grifter,
Right.
as it seems. Like if it is, he's playing a fucking long ass con, because yeah, this is not a conservative. So like you can tell because he's going against the oil and gas industry, which is like the
Sure.
main guys. But I think that like it- it's like yeah, like and also like I should probably like we unfortunately are probably a cut above a lot of fucking people that don't watch video essays, you know what I mean, who are just like reposting Instagram reels and like
I feel
discussing
better
like
about this than like posting an AI TikTok that aligns completely with my views and confirms things that I think that are true that are not true. Like there's obviously it can get much worse in terms of getting your information from the internet.
yeah, like it's not like I have coworkers who like I overheard like conversations about like yeah, and they shot down the helicopter and it completely disappeared, and like yeah, it's well, it goes to the top, and like just like openly discussing conspiracy theories like it's nothing, and it's
An
like
experience I have more and more often is my
yeah.
local city subreddit having posts about a thing that I was at that are wrong and made up and like completely skewed, and I'm just like, this person's a racist or something. Like I just have like that experience like more and more often, just like going to like a food truck festival or something.
Right. Yeah, no, and it's like there was a riot,
And
like all
everyone
this
was
kind of
mean,
stuff.
and there was hundreds of homeless people and this and that, and it's like, no, I was there.
Yeah.
No, not really.
So I don't know. I think that is like scary to me, but yeah, like I don't know. Maybe I am like being a Debbie Downer on like a pretty good situation, because it seems as though like this is an example of like good information winning, and maybe it is just as simple as that. It's just like forget the mediums and the systems and whatever and the filters, and it's just like, did good information win today or did bad information win today? And I guess this video getting a bunch of views is just good information winning, and I should be like content with that. I just worry, I don't know, I guess I gotta like pay money to the transphobic New York Times in order
Well, yeah.
to
Then it's like there's no winning, right? Like it's like,
it's so tiring, and it's
yeah.
like you can't even I think about we were kind of having a conversation about social media before we jumped on the podcast as well, and it's like
Mhm.
I stopped using. I would have said Instagram was probably like my main form of social media for
Mhm.
like probably about 10 years, and I Trump got elected. Mark Zuckerberg went around on like a bunch of right wing podcasts wearing like a
Mhm.
chain and a tight fitting white t shirt and talking
Looking like
about
that one
how
picture of The Rock, yeah.
talking about
You know the
how the
one.
woke mind virus has gone too far. Yeah, he's just being like, yeah, that we're not allowed to be men anymore. And it's like, and that was enough to be like, fuck this, like,
I have
and like,
also been social media homeless in the post 2024 election of like, oh yeah, Twitter got bought and everything went really bad. And not that Twitter was great before, but it got much worse.
yeah, and it's like I got off Twitter. That made me get off of like Instagram,
Mhm.
and like I'm on Tumblr, which is not the management is not great at Tumblr. Like
Right.
they are
Tumblr also has a
racist.
bit of the opposite problem, right? Of like a big echo chambery whatever. I'm on Blue Sky. I have no hill to stand on, like
Not Yeah, I think the outside perception of Tumblr and what Tumblr is actually like is pretty different. Like I think that like I'm on Tumblr at this point because there's not many people on it, and I think that's
right.
what I like.
That's
And
what I like
and,
about Blue
and
Sky too, to be fair.
people are very like just kind of talking about their interests, like and like they'll go off on political rants, but like even the ownership at Tumblr is like fucking stupid. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, racist people, and then like there's not like a good social like I'm on YouTube and I'm making content for YouTube, and then I'm like, okay, well I'm just like funding this machine. It's like, okay, just because like the Google CEO didn't go on a bunch of podcasts, like doesn't
Into
mean
a
that
racist or
they're
whatever.
it does not mean that Google's politics is any fucking different from like Facebook and Meta's real. I mean,
Well, when
to be
this comes
fair,
up all the time is
yeah,
like a Hassan Piker Twitch streamer extraordinaire is like working for Amazon. If you like break it down, if you like think about it, it's like
right,
we're forced to operate within the platforms that we have. TikTok being partially owned by the US government, or
yeah,
Instagram and Facebook and Meta and all that jazz. Or
hmm
or even if you still want to, Twitter and Elon Musk and all that, although that one for me was like everyone has their point where they're like, I can't anymore. And for me, Twitter was that point. But it's like
yeah,
we got to have the fight behind enemy lines, right? Like we got to like do what we can with what we have and hope that when people are silenced wrongfully, we can spot it and go no, and have the Streisand effect kick into play, and like the more you try and make someone quiet, the louder it gets, right? And that's a pretty
right.
big phenomenon that sometimes works in the favor of evil as well, right? But and you end up with your like kick streamers and people like that. But
They're
sir,
silencing me.
they're silencing
Yeah.
me and my millions of fans who are going. They're silencing him. But not that it's always a him, but it's often a
mm.
him. Uh,
Shout out Lionel Shriver. Shout out J.K.
sure.
Rowling. Shout
Shout
out
out
Busy
XQC. Shout out
Parker.
Asmongold. Don't shout out any of these people. Don't clip that. Anyway, David Achu, I think it's pretty cool. I like this video a lot. It makes me want to make better videos, which is a feeling I have often when I find a new YouTuber that I enjoy, even though
Yeah,
I'm
did
retired.
you want to talk about this at all? I think this is just me been being very depressed about like the state
Your
of
own
the
content,
world and the
or
internet,
oh,
and like yeah,
that's
that's
okay.
how I've been feeling. Did you want to like talk about the video, or is it or like
I think it's well made. I think often about what makes a video work and doesn't work as someone who's bad at getting videos seen and bad at making them.
Mhm.
Um, I think the thumbnail's funny. I like a good Pepe Sylvia, parallel. Uh, I think the clip selection's great. Clip selections weight really hard, and when you don't, it's at its best when you don't notice it, and you just go like, "Oh yeah, that jingle or that thing resonated with me." But it's all about trying to find like a piece of something to like connect you to the thing that's being talked about, right? Because like maybe I like a Sean video, but sometimes it kind of goes over my head because there's not a De La Soul song in the middle of it or what have you. Um, I like that
Since
the
Liverpool
guy
Charms.
records in his like parents and sister's house, and he's just on like really weird like 70s furniture. Like it's just if the little secret of the YouTube game, if you have something that's like easy for people to comment about because it's a little weird or it's a little off or a little unusual, it makes you stand out. You just get comments, and those comments will result in more video views, and those views result in more and more views, and it kind of snowballs. And I could see it being like, why is this guy in front of this weird table, or why is he on this weird yellow upholstery couch, or why does he have a green screen on the floor with paint buckets? What's the deal with the paint buckets, right? Like, intentional or not, this is like a video that's made to do well, and it has done well. And I like when I see a video that I think is well made, that I agree with, or what have you. I'm happy when people are winning,
Mhm.
I way prefer this to stumbling across what I think is going to be an interesting anime or manga or television video, and then 5 seconds into it being like, this is Chat GPT, and also it's got 10 million views. Oh my god, like I prefer this. This feels a lot better.
Can I say I should share? It happened to me. I actually mentioned it in our group chat the other day. Was that
It'll happen to you.
a convincing orator, a convincing human being reading ChatGPT script got me because I don't want to watch Shameless. Um, it feels like it would be too hard, and it would take too long. But I do want to, and a big reason why I consume a lot of this content is I do want to spend all day drawing pictures. Um, so I need to listen to somebody talking, and it's like, oh, here's an hour-long Shameless video about like one of the characters. Let me just
And it
listen in.
seems to be a Lindsay Ellis-esque, we're going to talk about Vampire Diaries for 4 hours, but then it's secretly not that much effort, but it's masquerading as a video you'd like.
Yeah, you just start like picking up on things like as you get deeper into the video of like the famous ChatGPTism is like it's not blank, it's blank. And like it comes up a little too frequently, and you start feeling like you think it's going towards a certain conclusion, but then it kind of comes out on like a neutral, safe, hand-holdy, like, there's no hot take about it. There's no
Right.
like
There's no Sean dry humor. There's no Lindsay Ellis. I'm gonna like pretend to drop the piece of paper and actually reveal a secret on my giant web of board.
because like if you chat GPT to topic for a Sean video, it would get to the end and be like, like this guy makes some good points about this, but he's misguided about this, and that would be how the ChatGPT version, and that's how this video ended, and that's what started to tip me off of like, wait a second, like this is like this wasn't building to a point at all. Like this was just like kind of like handled it. Versus like a Sean video will just end and be like, it would be like, like this guy is gonna say that he's not race, that it's just a joke. I'm just joking, and it's just a joke, and he just goes, no, it's not. Like that's how the video is. It's an amazing video, and it's like, but you got to have skin in the game. You got to get ready to
Yep.
be on fire. Like, and there's
I've
no
noticed
criticism.
Yeah, that video essay channels that I've followed for many, many years that have always been camera off are slowly starting to go camera on, or camera some of the time, in what I think is an effort to be like, this is me, I'm real. This is like distinguish themselves from AI slop and AI like regurgitated Wikipedia page like videos. And I'm starting to think about it in terms of my own stuff. Not that I've been making stuff, because I am dying in my own capitalistic hellscape right now, but one day when I make videos again, I've been thinking about it, about how to like continue to prove that I am more than a Wikipedia summary or what have you. That I'm a person with takes and opinions and research, and that I care too much about Akane Banashi or whatever, see every pitch I've ever had for you on this podcast and you to me.
Yeah, it's like you can see the person's eyes not like scrolling from left to right on a reader. But then people, are they gonna get to the point of like, okay, memorize the sentence, say it, memorize the sentence, say it? Are they gonna have
that's my problem, right? Is I'm really bad at that. I have to be able to look at my script because I'm used to it, and so like, it's we gotta change. We gotta fight the power, fight the robots.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know, like that scared me. Like watching like close to an hour long video of ChatGPT video like scared me, and then like clicking on the channel and seeing like these video links are crazy. They're so long, and like
a good hint for those of you at home.
Yeah,
it's really hard to make an hour-long video. If someone's putting out an hour-long video every week, and it doesn't seem like they've been doing this for 10 years and like have like, hammered a format in, or it's something loose and fun like a podcast. Like Nobody Leaves does not use AI, to be clear. But like if someone's putting out a highly detailed, hard researched video essay, a complete series retrospective on a show or something like that, and they're able to do it weekly, there might be some AI being used.
Totally, because it's like, how did you rewatch the series again? Or like, do you really have like you don't seem like you have every detail of this series just like pinned in your head that way.
Right.
And it's like,
or if you're such an expert in this series, why'd you say the character's name wrong? Or why did you like there's hints here and there.
Totally. And it's like, I think the other thing is like, yeah, like it will end on like a consensus and a like doling of like the two sides. Yeah. And in a way that's like, the thing I always remember, this was like something that like I think ChatGPT just came out when this like kind of aired, but it was like they would have ChatGPT like like pretend to be Hitler and then explain to me like about like your war crimes or something. And
I remember that being a big like making the news a lot at the time.
Right. Or like I'll use J.K. Rowling in Transphobia because she's my favorite. She's my Salt Bae. Is like it's like make J.K. Rowling explain transphobia, and she'll be like, I don't hate trans people. I've just had some different opinions. And then when you're like, you confront her like on any of the problematic, it'll just soften them or like make them go away because it doesn't.
Which is
want
not true to life, as she's like donating to every campaign to like end your life personally. Mallory, I gotta ask. Are you goading me to like pitch you Harry Potter? Like, is this gonna be a thing? Like, do I have to buy that stupid Hogwarts game? Like, J.K. Rowling is your muse, Like, I know you think of so much of the world through TERF society, and it just, I feel like we've been dancing around it, and I want to rip the Band-Aid off and just actually dive in, because I know you have so many thoughts about it as both a Gen Z person who was touched by Harry Potter and a trans person who was touched by J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling touched me inappropriately in a
through her words and ideas. But yes.
Through her words and ideas.
And money.
Yeah.
And money?
I want to make a painting of her smoking that cigar being like, I love it when a plan comes together. And like, just have that. Like,
here's the plan.
When she like,
I'm gonna be a sad, abused woman. I'm gonna make a hit children's book series that's like the highest selling series of all time. And then in 15 years, I'm gonna get really weird about Dumbledore. And then in another 5 years, I'm gonna get really weird about trans people. And that's the plan.
Icky gays. Yeah, I think.
By the way, I don't think it's weird that Dumbledore's gay. I mean, how she talks about it, just to clarify. She's
awesome, but that's aside from them.
I hate you. You can't keep making those jokes. People are gonna think you think J.K. Rowling is awesome.
I think I just have the pause because I'm trans. I feel like it's like I think that's the thing. It's
You
like
don't though. People stumble across this podcast all the time. I know their pronouns are below us, but it's still.
well, you kind of have pronouns on the screen.
We are a second screen experience, even more than a video essay. To be clear, if you're sitting there
true.
on your TV looking at our faces right now, I'm a little concerned about that. I know we're putting it out, but it's a little creepy, and you should feel bad.
There's no portal in my floor with like stock footage, like explaining what I'm talking about.
We're just a webcam, 2 webcams.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it's just right there every time, and it's so easy. And it's like I have no other way to express my feelings about it. Something here, I'll admit, this is something I'll admit to doing that like online leftists would not like me doing is Harry Potter does come up like quite a bit in my day-to-day. My it's having like a boom in Japan right now. Or it has been for like the past few years cuz it's been like there's been the general wave of like Harry Potter promotion of like
they're getting ready for the show and all that.
Yeah, the show and the video game and all this kind of bullshit. And like I think they opened Harry Potter World in like Universal, like this was years ago, but like just more and more like Harry Potter pop up this, pop up that or whatever. And like I have students and I have coworkers that will be like, "Oh, I'm going to the thing. Oh, like I'm dressing as like Hermione for Halloween or whatever."
What house are you? Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Cool." Because what am I going to do? What am I going to do in that situation? They're not even like English speaking. I can't just like pull up J.K. Rowling tweets and show them. You know what I mean? And it's such a rabbit hole. So it's like, but every time I hear that, it is just like another like I'm just like every time I hear that, the entire weight of J.K. Rowling's entire legacy is just like falls on the scales, and again,
you just hear
and again,
like
and again.
like a drum set tumbling down like a staircase, just like cymbals crashing.
Absolutely, and then it gets to the podcast, and I get with someone who like understands anything about what J.K. Rowling's been doing, and it's like release, and I'm just like, yeah, that's really what it is. I have a lot of J.K. Rowling.
Like, it's also because like the person who's not overly interneted like you and I is like, oh yeah, she said some mean things about trans people, right? But like leaves it at that, as opposed to like, no, this person has dedicated their entire life to like ending trans rights in the UK and elsewhere. Like, it goes so much deeper. You don't understand. Hey, watch this 4-hour video essay. That's, I'd rather live in sometimes it's nice to live in ignorance, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So
did
it's
they
like,
make a Hedwig Lego set that I was like, I like Hedwig. I kind of want that. Never mind.
Yeah, that's where I really turned on her.
I put the set back on the shelf, and I walked out of the Lego store, and everyone clapped, and now we're here.
Yeah. So the point is this is a good video about recycling. This has been a really good podcast talking about the video.
I'm having a great time.
I just if somebody clicked on this podcast, I don't know what they're like.
Listen,
so confused.
The only person I've been thinking about is if David Achu clicked on this podcast. And if he got to this point, David, I really liked your video. I think Mallory did too, but we just had a lot of other avenues we wanted to discuss today.
I'm sorry, man. Here's the thing. All right, I'm speaking directly to David Achu at this point. Okay, this is a podcast where we talk about like anime and funny memes or whatever, and I sometimes make Sam watch like obscure little like YouTube videos or whatever that I think hold more artistic value than anything you're gonna find in the Louvre. And Sam has like countered that because he thinks about video essays a lot, and that's why this. But like your video has now just become.
Your video is ammunition for me to fire at my co-host, because this is also like a very violent podcast where we just torture each other with the things we like. That being said, David, you're doing a great job. I'm very jealous of how successful you are. You've got like over 12 million view videos. I have 1. And also, I'm 29. I'm over the hill. But I'm very inspired by your channel and how effectively you taught me about recycling. And I just wanted to say that, if you're listening, which I doubt you are. But anyway.
You didn't do anything to make me think that you were conservative. You didn't do anything to make me think that.
You don't
You didn't do
deserve this.
anything. You didn't do anything. So, and I really think that that's what people are going to click on this video and think about. But if you did comment like, he's not a conservative, then tricked you, got up in the
You
algorithm.
didn't say that, to be clear. We also, information's hard. Communication is hard. I don't agree with with Oppenheimer, to be clear, from a few episodes ago. I don't think Oppenheimer was based and cool. I did say that the movie makes him seem cunty, which I thought was funny.
More like Fuckenheimer, dude.
Anyway,
Let's
Mallory,
talk. Can I rate it?
yeah, you got any last thoughts? Or are we just gonna put this on our tier list of our island of misfit toys?
That's a beautiful way to refer to it. It's good. I'm gonna continue my
I need more
recycling
than that.
habits.
I'm gonna fight. Don't give me the letter yet. Don't give me the tier number. I'm gonna fight every other week. You go, it's good, it's bad, B, C, and I do a whole thing, and I want you to say why it's good or bad. Like the ranking purely from me when I make the time codes, and I have a 30-second segment and a 90-minute segment, and I don't like it. So you're gonna rank this, and you're gonna talk about it.
Okay. So it's like okay, I've been thinking about going vegan for a while in like selectively just to reduce my impact on the environment, not because of animals, fuck them. I think that this is a well-made video. It's funny, it's fast, it's successful in climbing the algorithm.
Are you upset that I
learned-
pitched this to you? Are you upset that this is what we're talking about? I could have done a movie. I could have done Spider-Man. I gave you an option.
No, I tried to get out of it, and then we couldn't get out of it. We just like the hole in David Achu's floor with cool clips. We have fallen like quicksand into a void.
We have fallen
Sam-
into a digital circus. Is that what you're saying to me?
I am not good at like reviewing stuff, I think, is what I'm
That's good.
and I think about like the fact that I have a review podcast, and it's like and I'm like, what are my qualifications? And I don't think I'm qualified to like say anything about this video other than it's like it's well made, it's well edited, it's funny, it's smart, it's
Mallory, I just want to know what you think about it.
no, this is what I think. It's like it's a good service politically. I politically agree with this video because it's like throwing a rock at the window of Big Oil and smashing one of their windows, and I hate them, and I hate the people from Exxon. And if Luigi Mangione was in discussion again recently, and I support him, and I think if Luigi Mangione came for the big wigs at Exxon, that would be fun, and I'm fine with putting that on the internet. Because
Mallory, that's a
nobody's
beautiful
gonna watch
sentiment.
this.
I
Nobody's
look
gonna
forward
watch
to
this
you and I
video.
sharing a jail cell together later on. What would you rank Is Recycling Real by David Achu?
Baby Girl feels kind of demeaning to it.
You would
I
give
have
a
a
young
little bit
black
of
creator on YouTube, Baby Girl.
That's loaded.
And
It's really loaded.
It's what everyone's thinking.
But the problem is like I think most of my tiers, like if Angel feels like weird, but like I think it goes in Angel because that's my tier for like good thing.
Is
that
it
I
your
don't
tier
have an
for
issue
good, or
with.
is it your tier for I don't want anyone to be upset with me? I want to like listen.
It's no, because like Baby Girl, I'm kind of like I'm like endeared by it even though it's not good. Angel is like, oh, it's good.
This is
And then
true.
Trap Queen's
You do
like-
group things more. You're more top heavy in your tiering than I am.
Yeah, and then Trap Queen is like, I want a painted picture of it on my wall. So like,
Right.
if you pitched me like the Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling, that would be.
Listen, I like this video. If I was to give it Skong watch, it would be disingenuous. Is all I'm saying.
Have you even listened to the Witch Trials of J.K. Rowling?
No. Yes,
I listened
actually,
to
I
a bit
have.
of it because I was fucking like, but I was like, I shouldn't give it the views, but I gotta know what this fucking dumbass is saying who made the podcast.
You sticking with Angel? That's where we're at?
Angel, it's a good video. I don't have a problem with it. I just have a problem with the world that it exists in.
That's going to be a problem that continues because everything we watch exists in this world.
All right, Sam, I'm getting stressed.
I can tell.
But other context, I woke up with like the worst headache ever.
And I'm not being very kind to you by like
No,
just picking on you.
no. I'm asking for it. it's fully my fault. I think I'm just in a bad mood today, but that makes me funnier. Um,
This podcast has a weird energy. What are we watching next week?
it does because I don't think we were nice enough to the video essay in the first 5 minutes, and I'm worried that people are gonna think that we
To
are
be
like.
clear, making an hour-long podcast about a video essay, I think, is in some ways an endorsement. Not now. Listen, not everything we cover is an endorsement, but like I think that my enthusiasm for it has, shown through in our
Yeah,
conversation about how the internet's evil sometimes.
yeah. I hope mine has what theirs is.
I'm
All right.
feeling the enthusiasm, Mallory. Let's land the plane here.
Okay.
What are you making me watch next week? What video essay are you making me watch next week?
Oh man, have you seen that one about I sent Sam midweek. Can we do a little segment in because this is like
Sure.
a fuck around podcast.
Yeah,
You brought
absolutely.
up, and I wanted to do that. The moment kind of passed me by, but
The other
you brought up
creative
like
you're obsessed with, yeah. Let's do it.
no, you brought up like YouTube recommendations,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the Nobody Leaves YouTube channel has like a slightly skewed idea of what my recommendations are because it's like it has a lot smaller sample size of what videos I was like playing on
Yes.
there.
Same for me.
Um,
Like when I see the ones
yeah,
that are clearly meant for me, I'm like, that's not the interior of my heart. Like, don't do
I'm
this
not
to me.
that into that. Yeah,
I'm not
I'd
that
love to
nerdy or whatever.
do. I'd love to do just like a like call out like what is popping up on your YouTube recommendations feed. Um, and I'm trying to think of the best way to do it because it's kind of like if you just watched a video like I just watched a video. It was like highlights from Abbott Elementary. So
Mm-hmm.
like my top videos are gonna be about Abbott Elementary right now. Um, so like I don't know what the most accurate way. Do we need to like scroll to a certain point or
Here's what I got for you. This
okay
is the interior of my heart. I've got a
okay
video essay about Succession. I've got a
okay
breakdown of the show Lanterns, a superhero show about DC that I
okay?
haven't watched. I've got exploring Deltarune's cut content because you have turned
Whoa.
me into a Tumblr boy, or you will. You're trying to poison me. Uh, I've got a video called "The Mr. Beast of Journalism." I'm kind of interested in what the fuck that's about. I have it from a creator I don't recognize. I have David Achu talking about sucking at what you do and getting better at it, which I fully agree with. I am very jealous that he started in high school and kept going, whereas I didn't, and now I'm having to still learn, but in a more embarrassing age. What do you got? What do you got for me?
Okay, so we need to talk about Abbott Elementary, an ode to Black whimsy? Question mark. That's in the thumbnail. Jason Raymond, a creator who is definitely going to get recommended to you, who is making a Kickstarter project called Fly, which I funded. And it's a
You
drawing
funded a
of that.
Kickstarter?
Yeah, man.
You and I
Okay,
just use the internet so differently, but yeah, continue.
okay, you see queer black guy on there, you gotta fund him. Law Roach is an iconic guest Z-Way interview. Azoken is a fun anime, and it's definitely a bunch of clips of Azoken. Lyle the Kindly Viking, but something isn't right. It's a picture of Veggie Tales. That's probably more telling because I have not watched any Veggie Tales in quite a
Are you
long
looking at the
time.
Nobody Leaves one, or are you looking at your personal one?
This is my one. Pikmin
Okay,
sings
good.
"Creep" by Radiohead. And fucking man carrying thing, even though every time he's popped up on my recommendations feed for the past like month, I've clicked like not interested, don't show me this creator anymore. Because his vibe pisses me off and I don't even know.
Man carrying thing to me is the guy personally seems fine. Once again, we seem to be in the gulag together against authoritarianism. But
Mhm.
the video essay format I hate, and David Achu uses it just sparingly, which is good, is I'm talking to myself. I'm playing the other opinion. Like, that format, I think, is super overdone. I don't like it. When Drew Gooden starts using it too much, I don't like it either, and I kind of like Drew Gooden's videos quite a bit. Yeah, that's just want to throw that out there. I think it's overplayed. I think it's people who watched Smosh too much when they were 12.
I think I look like a conservative with these sunglasses on.
I don't think that, but anyway. Do you think you're doing the like conservative Facebook profile picture in the comment section?
Yeah.
Is that what you're worried about?
It's like I feel like if I had a cigarette in my hand right now and I didn't have a flower crown, people feel like what progressive legislation did you just kill? Okay, this has been I've been very open about my thoughts on this podcast. I feel like I try to have like a little bit of a filter sometimes. This has been very open. Sam, can I
This
pitch
was
you
my
on
master
something that
plan.
we're gonna watch next week?
What are we going to be super normal about next week, Mallory?
Sam, it's been coming a long time coming. You've been gotten mad at me about it for not
Pause.
pitching it to you.
It's been coming. It's coming a long time coming. You've been mad about me about
It's
it
on
a
its
whole lot
way.
of time.
Listen,
Listen.
we've all been waiting for it. I think this year of our podcast has been about like we're not gonna try and trace trends and make like a podcast about whatever thing is currently popular because we're gonna be the least interesting video about that thing coming out that week.
I don't know if that's true, but we're going to be the least successful.
Well, for sure we're gonna be the least successful. So rather than trend chase, I've let it sit aside. I've given myself time to digest it. This is gonna be a long one, vis-a-vis record session, because I'm gonna have a lot of thoughts that I'm gonna want to express. But I've had time to think about them, so hopefully I'll be a little bit more efficient and less whining about them when I put it out there. Sam, it's time to go to the amazing digital circus.
Mallory, this has been like the 800-pound gorilla, like in the room, or was it elephant, gorilla, China bowl, China shop? I don't know what I'm not sure what the metaphor is.
It's definitely
but
an
this
elephant,
has been
man.
like,
that was pretty weak sauce. It's definitely an elephant is in the room, right?
I think so. There's another one with like an 800-pound gorilla though. I don't know what it's. I can't remember what the other phrase is. Doesn't matter. This has been simmering under the surface like a tumor. Because I don't know anything about the digital circus except that the finale was controversial and that you found it controversial. And so those are things that I want clarified. And I somehow, despite living on the internet, know nothing about digital circus except some character designs, what I just explained, and vaguely that it is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream inspired creation, a short story I have read many times. So, yeah, looking forward to this one.
I'm going to give you my surface takes. The main controversy about this is that it is popular with children and they've never experienced a plot twist before.
I see.
A highly telegraphed, easy to understand, just kind of slotting into place. Yep, that's where the story was going. It's not that it's not surprising at all, but it's like, okay, like, and so that's kind of the issue with this fandom. So enjoy it, strap in, we're gonna have fun.
Looking forward to it. I'm gonna go light plastic on fire. Have a good afternoon, Mallory.
Have a great day, Sam.